So what do we have here? I have got a Void Shard Pack flash offer, and this is one that I don't really get on my account. So if you're not familiar with how this stuff works, there's different offers for different accounts based on their spending tier and their spending habits and how much they spend and all that. Well, typically some of the medium to high spenders are going to get different void packs than some of the low spenders, and this one right here, 9 for 20, is actually a decently above market value here for void shards. If I pull up the calculator right here, you can see that this is a 1.13 here for void shards. It's actually not as amazing as it seems at first. It looks like a really good offer because it doesn't happen super often, but it's mostly close to the market value. But the thing is, for anyone who's like upper medium or high spender, this void shard pack during a 2x weekend, while we've got a pretty hyped up fusion coming up in a few days, is probably going to be something that they go ahead and purchase. Usually what I do is I hold off for the offers that are around a 1.5 before I consider them. Now this one is a little bit different because it gets a little bit of a value bump during the void weekend and all the reasons I gave you, like the new fusion coming up, and then there's also the Kaimar tournament. I don't know where I stand right now in the Kaimar tournament, but like if I was below 100 void shards, I may go ahead and pull the trigger and scoop this up. But where I stand right now, I've got plenty of resources to finish the fusion and all of that, and since there's no like guarantee, if there was like a guarantee 120 voids for a Krigia or something, I would definitely buy something like this. So let's go ahead and close that. And then speaking of, let's go ahead and let's see how my champion chase is breaking down. It was a little bit realistic yesterday, and I was gonna go for okay, well, never mind. So yesterday the leader was at like, I think 8 or 9,000, maybe even less than that. But yeah, 37,000. So okay, my tournament's over and I'm not going to be going for mine. So hopefully those of you out there are in a different tournament group. Let's see how many shards this person probably pulled. So 37,450 divided by what, about 105 per void shard. That would be 356 void shards this person pulled. Now I'm gonna guess they probably pulled maybe 100 or 200 voids, and then they went ahead and they spent like gems going after some ancient shards or something, or maybe they YOLO'd a few sacreds they had laying around or something. This probably wasn't all voids, but yeah, that's not gonna happen. I am now out of the running for the Kaimar in my group. I was actually planning on holding off a little bit and seeing how this is going at the end of like today, and then possibly considering, because it was winnable yesterday and I did have a chance, but now it looks like my group is completely over. Someone else may arise as a challenger, but it is not going to be me. I'm going to switch into preparation for fusion mode. But there is a Savage event going on right here for a 3x drop fever on Savage, so I'll probably grind up a few hard Fire Knight runs and see if I can't get any mythical Savage pieces. Is probably what I'm going to spend my energy and resources on today as we kind of wrap up the weekend and hold off to wait for the fusion to kind of ramp up next week. And then also the Path of Vengeance is going on, and I'm going to at least get down here. I need to get, what, 4,000 more points to at least scoop up an introductory blessing for Artak. I was kind of trying to manage things efficiently and easily and kind of just hold off until the craziness ensues for the fusion starting next Thursday. So I wasn't going to go too crazy. I was just going to scoop up my 2-star blessing with Artak and call it good. But you know what? We're at 134. Let's go ahead and pull 4 for the video. You never know. I did a collab with Cold Brew, and hey, look at that. That would have been a big pull there. 1 shard for Saris if I was on a early game account. I did a collab with Cold Brew, and he YOLO'd 1 void shard and got a Warlord one. So you know what? Why can't something like this happen for me one of these times? Why not? Let's try it. I've got, as long as I'm over 130, I'll be good as we head into next week, and it's 2x, so why not? I still need a lot of Void Legendaries. There's a lot of them I don't have. Siphi and Hegemon and Acrisia and all that, but there we go. Okay, so the YOLO did not pay off. We got 3 rares and 1 epic. Is there anything else in the shop worth talking about? So yeah, these are purchase limit of 5, so you know they're not going to be good. Like 11 for 30 and 5 for 15 is basically like $3 a pop. That's going to be under the market value there of that Plarium usually sets. So we've got 7 for 25. Again, that's also bad. You do get the 500 gems, but once you see the purchase limit of 5, you know Plarium considers it an under the market value pack. Usually if it's purchase limit of like 3, it might be close to average. If it's purchase limit of 5, it means it's bad because Plarium doesn't care if you buy a bunch of it. If it's purchase limit of 1, then it's usually going to be above market value because Plarium doesn't want to flood with too many of those. It's kind of like a quick way, if you don't want to plug it into a calculator, that you can usually see, and I talk about in some of my content, is a fast way for you to tell if an offer is going to lean towards being good or bad. Monthly pack, yeah, see, this is a purchase limit of 1, and it's above market value. Appreciation, okay, Elite Sacred, 1 for 25. Well, this would be an exception, I guess, to the rule. So, well, I mean, for Plarium, this is above market value. So for whatever reason, Plarium, they view their sacred shards as $25 a piece. That's what they have viewed them as since the beginning of Raid, and they are digging their heels in the sand, and they are not going to budge from that. They view their sacreds as $25 a piece. No one else does, but that's how Plarium views them. So technically, this would be an amazing offer in terms of Plarium's retail value, because not only are you getting the sacred for $25, but you're also getting the legendary tome and 1,000 energy. Now, most of us average spenders are going to look at this and be like, that's not enough value to go ahead and spend at 25. But then we got the Vengeance and the Personal Builders. That's going to be that typical one. Yeah, so you know, if you want the quick breakdown of this, the better value is 2,800 energy. But the thing is, the 20 energy refills will give you a little bit more freedom when it comes to managing your energy, because you don't have to claim that 2,800 all at the same time. So it's actually not a horrible idea to maybe go with like one of each if you're coming up to something like the Fusion starting here next week. So maybe do that. And then if you're out of XP, you probably go with this. If you've got stacks and stacks of XP, then you would either go for the classic tokens to fill up your Great Hall as fast as possible, or if you're a mobile only user, you might go with the 500 multi-battles. Don't do the 500k silver, that's a meme. So probably one of those 3, and then a mix of the 2 different energies if you were going to buy this. But it's mostly a market value type of pack, and like I said, you can tell a little bit there with the purchase limit of 3 that Plarium views it as mostly par for the course. Oh, and we're getting the mini mix pack pop up again. Now, what I would like to see here is a 101% a bonus mini mix pack they like to do sometimes. I feel like they haven't done that for like 2 months, but that's what I would like to see. Is I would like to see the 100% extra version of the mini mix, and then that's when I would start jumping in with the wallet and YOLOing if they were doing something like that. Now, this is technically a good value. We plugged it in yesterday, and it's a 1.88. So for anybody who is a spender on Raid, this is going to be a really good pack to jump in and purchase here. Now, I did hear from some of you in comment sections that some of the higher tier ones, like the $10 and $20 versions of the mini mix pack, are a bad value, but that's interesting to me. Usually, they're pretty consistent as you go up the tiers. And I can pull this up for you to show you if you're new to Raid or new to the channel, but I did a video on this a while back, and there's a bunch of different versions of these mini mix packs. So you can see over here, you've got the $2.99 version. That's going to be the cheapest version. You don't ever see ones for like $1 or anything. And then they go all the way up. I believe 25 is the highest version of mini mix pack, but they go from like 3 to 10 to 15 to 20 to 25. There's like 5 different versions based on your account and what Plarium thinks would kind of most fit into your tier. That's why sometimes you'll see different versions on like content creator packs and their account versus what you see on your game client. But you can see here that it does actually get a little bit worse. It goes from a 2.48 to a 2.12 as you go up the different tiers. So I guess it doesn't super surprise me that some of you were saying in the comment section that your Void mini mix pack was a little bit worse than mine, which is interesting. And that means it would fall kind of down into that like 1.2, 1.3 tier. But Void shards do have a little bit bonus value right now because we are in a 2x Void weekend. So I would say still, for anybody who is approaching like a mid-tier spender for Raid, probably not the worst thing to go ahead and consider the Void mini mix pack. Oh, wow, and it just keeps on flowing. And a Soulstone deal. Now, these are usually pretty comparable to Ancient Shards, so this is probably going to be pretty decent. I did plug it in really quickly, and you've got the 10 right there, and then the 12, and then the 1.21. So for those people that are in the market to spend on blessings, it's not the worst thing, especially now that we have confirmation that we're probably going to be getting some sort of 2x or 10x or Summon Rush and a little bit more often of events that are going to be scaling with these blessings. Personally, it's a 1.21, so I'm not going to be interested in this one. It would need to be up closer to that 1.5, but for people shading towards the upper middle or high tier of spending, I could see this one being a consideration, but it is 2x Void weekend. I would probably be prioritizing shards right now. Oh, hey, and look at that. I got 100 energy for spending my 4 voids. It was all worth it. How are the global ones doing here? Oh my goodness, 300. I thought they would be around like 150 to 200 today, but we got somebody at 324,000. Now, if they were just pulling voids, let's do 324,000 divided by 105 about per void. That would be 3,000 voids. So they're definitely not pulling void shards. They are transitioning gems into ancients and then doing a bunch of ancient pulls. I mean, even just to sacrifice and crunch all of the rares you're getting and the epics and stuff, even just pulling that many shards would take hours on end. So wow, that is definitely impressive. And they don't even have their account named. This must be like some new whale or something. They're just player 1291, and they are pulling thousands and thousands of shards here to win the global tournament. So okay. Well, I wish all of you good luck on your Champion Chase tournament groups if you are going for the Nekmo or Ragash or Kaimar or whatever is up for grabs. And I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I will see you soon in the next video. Appreciate you. Peace.